Hi, Samantha. Hey, Penny. I wonder what this button does if I say hi. Oh, I waved at you in the chat. Hello. I have a surprise for you guys. The diary detectives already know, but I did receive 2 more diaries written by Myrtie, who actually let me pull up her picture. Because last week or 2 weeks ago, I wasn't on last week, I found her picture. She's up there in the corner also to stay. But in the first little bits of research that we were doing about her on Ancestry, I ended up finding a tree that they were clues within the person's ancestry tree that told me that they had other diaries of hers. So I reached out. Her name is Catherine. And I was like, oh my God, are you family? Oh, awesome, Samantha. Newest diary detective. I'm glad you said that because sometimes I can't tell with usernames. I wish there was a little badge I could add next to the usernames. That would be helpful. But that's good to know. I'll try to remember the picture. So she had a picture of another diary of Myrtie's, and we only had one. So I reached out to her. She's not family. She's another diary detective like us, and she's going to join the group. I'm going to add her in because she sent me 2 diaries by Myrtie. So now we have 3. And actually, here's the 3rd one. This is the one I've had. They're all the same little style. The 2 that have the label on them are the ones that she sent me. And I've decided, and the diary detectives concur, I asked their opinion, since we were only 2 months into the 1905 diary, and the ones that I received new are 1899 and 1900, I decided we're going to pause the 1905 diary, because I like to read them in order of year. We just didn't have these. We didn't know they existed before. So I think we should pause 1905, go back in time to 1899, then read 1900, and then read 1905. And we'll just have a little head start on 1905. What do you guys think? I think that makes the most sense. It's a little bit jumpy for now, but I think in the grand scheme of things, it's better to go year by year rather than like read the whole 1905 diary and then go back in time and then go in between. So I'm glad that they came when they did. So exciting. And she just sent them to me. Like, I'm trying to pay her for shipping and she's not getting back to me. I'm like, please let me pay you. Look at how cute this is. There's little pencils in the diary. I can pull it out. Oh, that is so cute. Myrtie held this. I wonder if she used it to actually write the diary, if it would last that long. So cute. Hey, Kayla. So that's the plan. We're going to go read 1899, and then we'll make our way back up to 1905. And maybe some of those questions that we had. Hey, Kate. Kate, it's you who also is the diary detective now, right? I wish I could put a little badge next to your names. The thing is, too, on the chat, is sometimes, okay, awesome, good. Sometimes it shows your names, like if it were me, it would say Addie, and then other times it just randomly says usernames instead, so it's so confusing for me. So I feel bad. Definitely, anyone who's a diary detective, if I'm not acknowledging you, let me know. It's because of that. Okay, so why don't we start reading 1899? Oh, actually, I'll show you one thing I just found. I was doing a little bit of poking around and organizing because I was thinking, oh, we only had one diary of hers, so I was just going to plop it all in one document. I use Google Slides. It's just how my brain works. But now that we have 3, we need like a master Google Slides of all the people and the places that are important. So this is kind of like my scrapbook of the people that we've talked about or found so far. It's only been a couple of live streams, so we haven't found too much, but information about her dad, who was a reverend, her grandfather, a couple of neighbors who have been mentioned who we found pictures of. I like to just have everything in one place. But I also found a couple of old pictures of the town that she lived in, which I thought was pretty cool. Look at the smoke coming out of the chimney. That's very cool. And it looks beautiful, actually, very mountainous. And this is the schoolhouse that she worked in, I think. I ended up finding in the newspapers around 1899, which is when this diary was written. I haven't looked a ton in other years, but it mentioned that she was in school district number 7. She was a teacher. And this is schoolhouse number 7. So this is most likely the school building that she worked in, and maybe this was one of her students. No face. So cool. I think I saw it on a Facebook page, and I think it said that the building was turned into a post office. So I don't know if it's still there, but I haven't gotten to dig much further because I had to log on here. So that's where we stand. And then we have this great picture of her dad and her from the Vermont Historical Society. So anyways, here we go. So this is the 1899 diary. There's a bunch of stuff in the beginning. These beginning pages are all different reference guides and things like that. Oh, we're in 1899 now. Now I have to learn another year for muscle memory. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I can't believe that not only we found someone else who was researching her diaries, but I'm flabbergasted that Catherine was so willing to just send them to us. She said, "Oh, I have a lot of projects going on," and I totally relate because I'm the same way. I have more than I could even, and I know what to do with, you know? And she just sent them to me. Very exciting. Yep, you see, I stayed at home, so not much has changed. Okay, so here we go. Actually, I wonder... So we know her mother has already passed away at this point. I tried to like put all the information because I forget sometimes, and it's nice to have it as a quick reference. So her mom died in 1875 of tuberculosis, and his second wife, so her father's second wife, Harriet, she dies in 1903. Okay, so she's still alive, so she'll probably be talking about Harriet or Hattie. That's what her Find a Grave said was her nickname. Is this your job, dream career? It is my dream career. It's not my job. I actually love my job. I'm an art teacher, so I have a fun job and then a fun hobby. I was at home. Okay, so mother is not very well. So this is interesting. Some things are kind of making sense now. Hi, Jennifer. In the 1905 diary, she was saying mother's grave, and we know that her biological mother had passed away a while before that, but in 1905 her stepmother had passed away only 2 years before, or about maybe a year, a little over a year. So she may have just been talking about her stepmother, because it seems like she's just calling her stepmother mother at this point. That was a very long-winded explanation, but did it make sense? Because she's talking about Harriet right now because her actual mother is not living anymore. And her stepmother died of cancer. I don't know how long she was sick for. Oh, okay. Oh, man. Okay, so she had been in ill health with a cancer for the past year or more. Okay, so it's not quite... Man, I wonder if this is like before she found out what it was. I guess we'll see. We are kind of doing genealogy. It's not my own genealogy, but it's we're researching this diary from 1899. I have to go back and change all of my video titles and stuff because it was 1905, but then we ended up getting some more diaries from her, so now we're going back in time a little bit. Hey, Holly. Her blood mother died in 1890 or 1895. I think 1875. Actually. So, all right. Father is at home. I did the most of the housework. We stayed at home all night. When the child is tea, but I don't know what that means. How did we get the diary? Great question. So the first one, the 1905 diary that we've been reading for just a couple of weeks now. This is the one that I was, wait. This says 1906. Have I oh no, it's 1905 and 1906. Okay, so I was looking at this and I saw 1906 and was confused. So this 1905 diary I bought on eBay a long time ago. And when we started to read it and research it, we found someone online who had more diaries and was just doing her own research just like I'm doing about Myrtie. And I reached out to her and we talked and I sent her some pictures that we found and everything. And she sent me these other two. So one came from eBay. The other two, I'm not sure. I think she said she thinks she got them off eBay, but it was a while ago, so she doesn't remember. She's a collector, a diary collector like me. So these were donated to me. And the other one was bought on eBay. We started this off as just a one-off diary. It would be like a quick read. And no, now we have a series again. Yeah, they are. They're super tiny. They're very little. So each page, I should get out of the habit of slipping the little leather thing into the handle because it's going to end up ripping over time. But each page, mini page, has 3 days worth. Yeah, it's hard when it's on the screen. You can't tell. Okay. The 2nd, January 2nd, 1899. Father carried me to my school. So Jennifer said, Father carried me to my school. That must mean he took her in the horse-drawn carriage, right? I think so, yes. I taught school. And I can pull up her school because I found it, I think. Not 100%, but 99.9% sure that this is her. One sentence would take 4 pages with my writing. Yeah, I know, she's writing tiny. And there's a tiny pencil. Hold on. Keep opening them and closing them, but there's a tiny pencil inside the diary that I'm assuming she used to write, at least some of the time. Little golf pencil. Okay. Father carried me to my school. I taught school. Stayed all night at H.W. Towns. Wonder who that is. I also did find some old maps last time I started looking, but it's hard to find things when I'm actually on the live stream. My brain doesn't work the same way. I can't get as focused. There's just too much going on. So I did find, hold on, not this one. There's another one here. I didn't link it. Are you kidding me? I made this cute little box and was going to link. Oh, I did. Okay. It's like, come on, Ed. All right, so this is Library of Congress, so you can zoom right in. All the other ones I found, most of them were like something that was for sale, so when you zoom in, it's blurry. But this, I ended up figuring out, I believe this is the school that she worked at, because this school said District Number 7, which is what she was listed as working in. And then it was also called the Ira Morse School. So I was looking around for Morses, and I looked up where the Ira Morse School was, and here's I Morse School, and it was labeled on something else next to Bliss Pond. So I found it. That's where she worked, I think. And then I found a bunch of Wheelers up here. And in the census from this map is from 1858, and I found the census from 1860. And her father, Benjamin Wheeler, was listed as living next to a Cox and a Brown, like the census order, which doesn't necessarily mean he's right next to them, but it's like I always look for the group of names. Like if I start recognizing a bunch of names from that area, Hawkins was another one, I know that he lived like in this general area. So Cox, Hawkins, and Brown were all mentioned near a bunch of Wheelers, which makes sense because there's so many here. So he probably just isn't listed on this map, or maybe he's somewhere else, but because there's another Hawkins here actually. But anyways, general area of most of the family is here. Yeah, the schoolhouses were tiny. They were all like one-room schoolhouses. Yes, I did. I contacted the library and I got this picture. They sent them over. So this is the only picture we have so far of Myrtie, and this is her father. And I was so happy that they actually scanned it and sent it to me. They were excited, and they want to like read the diary when I'm done. So I'm going to send them the digital copy. And if we can't find anybody to send the actual copies to, I'll send it to them, but hopefully we'll find family. She lives in Vermont, Calais, Vermont. Do you have everything up on Wikitree? I use Ancestry, and I have a website where I just put like these documents up. It's called thingslostandfound.com. So if you go to my website, I need to like make my website nicer, but maybe I'll be into it. If you click on Myrtie Wheeler, it still says 1905 because that's all we had at the time, but these documents will be all here eventually. I'll have to add them. But yeah, that's where I put all my stuff, and then I do have an ancestry tree that I've been adding to, but we just started it, so. Where did the diary come from? One of them came from eBay, and the other ones I found someone online who was also a diary researcher like me, and she donated them to me. So she had 2 of them, and she had just started researching them, but like wasn't really deep into it because she had other projects going on, so she just sent them to me. I'm like so excited. Wonder what category of teacher, history, math, I guess all at once. Yeah, I think she was everything at once, and also every grade at once. Did you change days you come on? Today is Thursday, right? Hopefully. Yeah, today's Thursday. I come on Thursdays. Last week I wasn't on, so that might have been why it was confusing. Last week something came up. I found this on Google. It's pronounced Callus. Oh, I am struggling with these Vermont names. I've been corrected so many times for like all the different nearby towns that I can't remember which ones are the correct pronunciations, so I don't know. Callus. I'll try. I'm probably gonna say it wrong. It's hard to keep them all straight. Okay, so let's go back. Oh, I wanted to see if there was a last name Towns near the school. Oh, there's another school over here. We could look him up too on oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh, in the census. We could look him in the census. Towns. Sometimes that's a little bit easier. Back then, though, like in the censuses, is that a word? Censi. In the census records, that's how I get around that, from like the 1800s, early 1900s, a lot of these towns, they don't actually say any street names or anything. Sometimes they give you a general area of town, but these small towns, they give you much. The only thing you have to go off of is they have like a district, like a section with a random number, but I'm an amateur. I haven't figured out how to decipher that. If anybody knows, let me know. Like if there's some kind of way that you can figure out like where those sections are delineated. But I haven't figured that out. The only thing I can go off of is groups of names. So like you look at the few people next to them on the top of their name and then a few people below their name, and you try to find any of those, and then usually you can kind of like connect it. Vermont has a lot of French place names, but they don't use French pronunciation. Yes, so that's why I pronounce it Calais, because that would be how you'd pronounce it in French, right? So maybe that's what's throwing me off, is I'm thinking, yeah, they're all French names, so like I was saying Montpellier, but it's Montpelier or something. I actually have the correct pronunciation in my Discord. Someone had sent it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. It's Montpelier. But then other people told me, oh no, okay, actually, Samantha, thank you. You did tell me on the 24th it's pronounced Callus, so that's correct. So confusing. So Callus, Barry, and Montpelier. Yeah, exactly. The last letter of a French word is almost always silent. I took French in high school, so I thought I had these names down, but that is not correct. I do not have them down. Okay, I'm just going to have to practice. But then it doesn't help that other people come in here. I trust Samantha. She's my diary detective. Is that actually Samantha? Did you tell me Callus earlier? Or was that somebody else? I know you told me in the Discord now, though. I trust you. Sometimes people come in just like random and they're like, oh no, it's pronounced this way. It's pronounced this way. And they're all conflicting each other. And like, oh my God. Okay. January 3rd. Not 1905. Ugh. Going to be hard to get used to. I happened to be with a bunch of Vermonters at the time. That's awesome. I love the group knowledge. Things I would have never... I guess I could have looked it up, but... Even when you do that, when you look up like how to pronounce this, how to pronounce... It's like... Also, you can't really trust it 100%. Okay, again, she's staying at H.W. Towns's house. So I'm gonna add that. Oh, my pen ran out. No, it didn't. Okay, I'm adding that to the list. I want to get back into the research list thing. It helps me stay focused, trying to solve the mysteries, you know? It's hard just to sit down and go, oh, I'm going to research this diary because, like, there's way too many things you could start to look up, especially in the beginning. Okay, that was the same exact entry. Why is her dad carrying her to school? He is, I think, driving her in a horse and carriage. She's not the only diary that we've read that the person has used that term. I'm super curious who Towns is. A boyfriend? I don't know. If he was a boyfriend, that'd be super scandalous because she's a teacher. And as we all know, in the 1800s and early 1900s, teachers they weren't women, they were just teachers. They couldn't get married. They couldn't have babies. They couldn't be teachers anymore if they weren't just single, perfect young ladies. She's 32. I don't know if I just said that or I was thinking it and I don't know if I actually said it. Copy paste for several of these. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. January 5th. I taught school, stayed all night at H.W. Towns. We got to figure out who that is. It's odd that she's staying overnight, though. I think if it was... Oh, you just Googled him. Let me know what you find. Teacher contracts back in the day were bonkers. Yeah, I've actually never... Oh, there's an exclamation point. I think it's just the G. But that would be funny. I've never actually looked at a teaching contract from that long ago. I knew this because of Little House on the Prairie. Because I used to watch that. And just from like doing these kinds of things, I learned that over time. But that would be very interesting to read. No, you're not dumb. Don't say that. It happens a lot, actually, where letters from above will interfere with words below and it'll make it difficult to read. Luckily, her handwriting is pretty easy. We've read some diaries, though, where the handwriting is tricky to begin with, and then those like longer letters dip down and really confuse us. But how old is she in the photo? I actually don't know. There was no date associated with this. Her dad looks pretty old, but I don't know. Everybody looked older back then, so I don't know. You guys can guess. Looks like she's got wrinkles. Plenty of them. So, I don't know. You can guess. I'm bad at guessing how old people are, but, well, we could kind of, like, figure out... Her dad died in... 1921. She died in 1965. That's crazy. So it's before 1921. She's probably like in her 50s, 60s. 50 seems young to have that many wrinkles, though. She was oh no, she could be older. She was 40 something or just turning 40 in the 1905 diary, I think. No, that can't be right. Oh, she was like late 30s. She's 32 now. I don't know. There's an F.W. Towns from Virginia who was an undertaker. you should be searching if you are. Oh, no sunscreen. That's true. And she's a teacher, so the kids probably gave her wrinkles. I'm a teacher, so I can attest. Stressful. Although I think they were much more well-behaved back then. What was I just going to say? Oh, she's in Vermont. So this H.W. Towns would probably... What Shoddy do on the 6th? Let's find out. He is probably from Vermont. Or she. It might be a woman. It probably is a woman. I feel like if she's staying there, it would be scandalous. Okay, I taught school. Father came after me. I went home, put the clothes in to soak. I wonder, maybe her father was traveling. Well, her mother might still be around, though. I don't know. Her father was a reverend, and he traveled a lot. So, I lost my train of thought. Hold on. Maybe she was staying with somebody else, like, while he was away. Father, mother, and I stayed at home all night. A girlfriend? You say that, but actually we did read, this one was from the 1940s, but we read a diary where the daughter was, like, in the closet, but had a girlfriend who basically, she didn't actually live with her, but she was there all the time. And it was a very interesting dynamic because it wasn't ever said, but, like, we read between the lines and the context clues all came together. And then I ended up finding the great-grandson of the diary writers, and I returned those diaries to him, but also did an interview with him, and I asked him all of these questions that we had, because we were, like, so sure, like, something was going on, because it was, like, Edna was the daughter, and Nellie would come over and stay over every single day, and the mother would, like, talk about that, but wouldn't say anything else, you know, and Nellie was always included in, like, the family celebrations and everything, so we're like, okay, they're not just best friends, like, there's something else going on, and it turns out that was true, and it was a big thing in the family, like, it caused a rift in the family where Todd and Edna, who were the parents, Edna is their daughter also, Edna Jr., but Todd and Edna were, like, basically okay with this, allowing it to happen. They weren't, like, acknowledging it, but they were not, like, against it, you know what I mean? Kind of just, like, look the other way situation. And the other family members did not agree with that, so it was just very interesting. That diary it's called the Weatherman Diaries. There's 3 of them. They're on my website also, and the interview that I'm talking about is right here. A couple years since I did that. It's crazy. So they're here. They load after a while. If you click on them, you can read through. There's 3 of them. And they're written by first Todd, and then he dies during the first diary. And his wife Edna takes over, and his wife Edna writes the 1944 and 1947 ones. And she talks about the daughter Edna. So it's Todd, his wife, and then their daughter, who's named after her mother. It was confusing at first when we were trying to figure out who, like, what was happening in the diary, because Edna was mentioned so many times, but there were 2 Ednas. Okay. Trying to go back into the chat, but it's been too long. Okay. January 7th, I did the family washing and helped about the house. Work. Father shoveled on the road some. He, mother, and I stayed at home all night. Oh, that's okay. Living Owl. I wasn't on last week, so didn't miss anything, but I've only been on for a little while. Half an hour. So let me catch you up a little bit, because something new is going on. I got 2 more diaries written by Myrtie from someone named Catherine online. She was also researching diaries from her, and we connected, we were talking, and she sent them to me. So we now have on top of the 1905 one that we already started, we have 1899 and 1900. So we are going back in time and we're reading 1899 first because I think it makes more sense. Even though it's like kind of jumping around a little bit, it's worth it because then things will be in order. So that's what's going on. What township was it? She lives in Calais or Calais. That's how it's pronounced. I'm going to try to correct myself. Calais here. And then I think she was up. She talks about going to Maple Corner. So maybe if you want to like narrow it down even more, they're like here, I think. So they're probably in the Maple Corner area. I don't know, unless that's just, I think those are like the different, like north, it's not North Calais, it's not East Calais. It's probably more like Maple Corner area. I don't know. Hey, Carly. Myrtie is smiling a bit in her picture, which back then you're not supposed to do. How did mother come back to life? Yes, yeah, it is her stepmother, which is interesting that she's calling her mother. I guess not, like it makes sense. I'm glad that they had a good relationship and she just called her mother. But yeah, her biological mother passed away in 1879, I think it was. We just saw it. 1875. And this is her stepmother, her father's second wife. Hi, this seems really cool. Thank you. It's fun. Okay. H. Wheeler. Wonder if that's the HW. I don't know, because I think Towns is the last name. Why don't we take a little... We'll do a little search. We could do a couple of things. We could look at Find a Grave. Let's do that, because we know... Just hold on. OBS is disconnected. Hopefully we're okay. Reconnected. Okay. And then hold on, one other thing. I did not pop out the YouTube chat just in case. Okay. Now, what was I doing? Let's go on Ancestry and look. I wish there was an easier way to search the census, like, and just click on the census that you want and just search the name, but it's kind of difficult. Let's do, this is in 1899, so let's do 1900 census. Towns. Calais. Vermont. And this is 1900 census. Okay, so let's just see who comes up. Henry W. Toms. It's definitely not Toms. Let's click on it though, because maybe they misrecorded it, or maybe it's not him. Because HW matches. She's not from Vermont. Oh, yeah, me? Yes, thank you. If someone corrected me again, I'm trying my best with the pronunciation. I don't see anybody saying that, but... yeah, I've been saying the name of this town, Calais, but it's not. It's Calais. And Montpelier is I think the correct pronunciation of what I was saying, Montpelier. Did they have hotels back then? Maybe that's the name of the hotel. It could be, yeah. So there's some towns in Barry. I'm trying to remember the right pronunciation. Barry. Which I don't think is far, because she's mentioned going there before, but the HW is throwing me off because it matched the other person. I don't know. Maybe we'll find more. We could also look in the newspaper, actually. Yeah. Why? Is somebody... Is someone being rude, Jennifer? I can't even see it. Oh, if you go back one screen, it said Tom's, but town under it. Okay. I wish that... Do you mean here? Oh, yeah, I know. And I live in Massachusetts, and, like, it's so funny because the pronunciation, one more LOL, click his name. Here? Click it, like, here? Oh, yeah, Henry W. Town. Okay. It could be. Maybe they just... Because it does look like it could be town. Maybe they just didn't know if it was S or an N there. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, Jen, sticking up for me. Yeah, the names of towns in Massachusetts are, like, heinous, and I can pronounce all them. But anyways, okay, so this is probably him, because this is from the same town, and it's town. It could be. We could look a little deeper if we found, like, another census where maybe the next year they wrote town and it was more clear, but I think that... Let's look here and see if... Because she could just be missing the E. Well, his name is... It doesn't have to be in this cemetery, I just thought. Sometimes in the same area, same town, it's easy. But it's not always easy. Henry W. Town. Let's see. And that is going to be in... Oh, no, I don't want it in that cemetery. Search Henry W. Town in Calais. Not me. What? Oh my god, there's a Calais in the same county in Maine, not Vermont. It's Washington County, Vermont. And it's also Washington County, Maine. That is so confusing. Let's just look at Vermont. Henry Town. HW. Well, not in there. Yeah, in my set of diaries that we nicknamed the Weatherman Diaries. Yeah, Luke. On my... Thanks, Carly. On my website, thingslostandfound.com, we have the Weatherman Diaries, which were from the 1940s, and we nicknamed them that because we didn't know the author yet, and he talked about the weather every single day. Father, mother, and I at home. I did the most of the housework. Mother has a hard cold. We all stayed at home all night. We should call these the stayed-at-home diaries. January 9th. Yeah, we know her name, so I don't need to nickname them, but I could. Father carried me to my school. I taught school. It's funny to picture him, like, literally carrying her. Stayed all night at HW Towns. All right, let's do this. I'll spread it out a little bit. 1895 to 1905. We'll see if we get any hits in Vermont. I don't know if they have a lot of newspapers in Washington County. Mrs. Town's home. HW it was, right? Henry. Maybe this is too broad. Let's try Justin 1899. Mrs. Towns. Could be her. Maybe search Ada Towns. Was that the wife's name in the census? Or I could do Henry. From 1895 to 1900. Nothing. In one diary entry, they took dinner, using the verb take instead of eat. Yes. Can I send you a link? It's not on here. If you want to join, I have a Discord. You can send it to me on Discord in a private message, or sometimes it's easier just to describe how you got there because it's kind of a pain in the butt. If you try to send it in the chat here, it will not work. Did you miss what? Kingdom Warrior, did I miss it? I don't know. Maybe. Okay, now we're on the 10th. Oh God. A lot of the same. I taught school. Henry William Town, 1848 to 1922, Woodbury, Washington. Okay, thank you. Oh, no, I'm not leaving. I just started. Well, I started like 45 minutes ago. Henry William Town, 1848, 1922. Massachusetts. But he was born in Vermont. Oh, and here's Ada. Okay. So this could be him. Maybe I will save this link and put him as possibly a hi Kim, or I'm assuming your name is Kim, but Kimbo Slice. I forgot what I was saying. Okay, January 10th. I taught school. How old is he? He was born in 1848. Trusty calculator. I cannot do math with years. It's embarrassing. $51. Is there a digital version to read this? Yes. On my website, it's not up yet. But if you go to thingslostandfound.com, I think you have to put www. But if you go there, that's my website. It's also in my link tree. You can click on Myrtie Wheeler. Right now it says 1905. It's a long story. 74. Did I screw it up? I did 1899 minus 1848. Is that not when he was born? Oh, yeah, no, that's right. It's 1899 in the diary. He was born in 1848. He was 51. Oh, when he died, yeah, when he died, he was 74, or 73, or 74, yeah. Okay, I thought you were telling me I did it wrong on my calculator, and that would be even, like, more embarrassing. What was I just saying? Ugh. I totally lost my train of thought. Yeah, it could be a friend of her dad's. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out more, but wonder if they were like mentors to her. Yeah, possibly. Maybe that's why they stayed together, picked her up from work. And actually, Morse. Remember we were talking about the schoolhouse. The schoolhouse was called Ira Morse School. So I wonder, maybe they lived around here, or she knew the family or something. I sent you a Henry W. Town deed. Where did you send it to me? Because I will find it. Oh, yeah, sorry. The Discord is weird. And okay, you found a way to send it, though. Thanks. I should make a separate chat, because the Discord... Hold on, I have to sign in. the Discord is split up into basically 2 Discords. It's opening in Microsoft Edge. Sorry, I need to like do this and then talk. Copy link. I have a free Discord, which is the one that you're in, which is basically just for me to send announcements in. And then there's the Patreon Discord, which is like more interactive where people can chat and stuff. So you're not actually supposed to be able to chat in that one, but that one chat room is like broken. So nice. But I need to add one, I think, just for people to send links in. Sometimes they'll like send them by direct message, but that's a good way to do it. I'm glad you figured it out. Yeah, I'm like terrible with Discord and permissions and all that crap. I try to make it work, but technology is not my forte. We need to be able patron stuff with you if we can't do Patreon. What do you mean? Oh, your birthday is January 9th? Hold on, I have a special surprise for you. But here's the deed. Henry W. Town to Alexander Rogers. What year is this? 1900, okay. So it seems like maybe he left the area. Counting the same something money. I have sold all of the real estate to Alexander and Rogers in the county of Washington, Vermont, for the sum of $1,000. Okay, so that's why he ended up somewhere else. So he's probably, I don't know if he would be. Okay, let's figure this out. If this is him, which it is, because Ada, his wife, they are next to Morse, Ellis, White, Goodell. This is 50 years later, though. Maybe, it's like so annoying. It's so frustrating to try to do this on live because I feel like there's like dead air when I'm just like searching for things and it makes me anxious. But like sometimes I just need to focus. I need to get to the 1850 census with him in it, or 1860 or something closer to that map. Maybe they weren't even married yet, actually. Henry Town, Calais, Vermont. He was born in 1848. The problem is I'll be doing something and look at the chat and then get completely derailed. We want to look, let's see if he's in any family trees first. Maybe we can find a picture of him. That would be cool. Oh, not a picture of him, but this is him. So let's click on 1850. Where was he? He's in Woodbury. How about 1860? Still in Woodbury. Okay. Now we're in 1899, so let's see in 1900. He's in Calais. I almost said Calais. So he would not be on this map that I have open because this is 1858. Does that make sense? Okay. Thanks, Jennifer. I appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to add to my little list what we found. He's Henry William, just so that we can like dig into him later. But he's from Woodbury, then Calais in 1900, and then left and went to Massachusetts. Okay, maybe we can find out more about him. For whoever said it was their birthday on January 9th, hold on. Happy diary birthday. That's a special thing just for you. Yay. I love getting to do that. Wait, is the person he sold the land to on the map? It wouldn't be in the 1858 map. Maybe, well, actually maybe, because if the guy was already from the town, he could be. What was his name again? Alexander Rogers. Actually, yes, there are Rogers. Because I was looking, when I was looking for the Wheelers, I think that was when I saw Rogers. Maybe not, it was Robinson. But, okay, hold on. Robinson, let's look in this area. Tucker, Morse, Fuller, Toby, Wood, Martin, Slayton, Gray, Dodge, Hersey. Maybe down here? No. He totally could be on this map. Because I think it did say he was, like, already in the town. Just trying to get some more. Yeah, that's cool. Some of these old maps actually list the families, which is very exciting and makes things more fun. This one is older than the diaries, though. This is 1858. And the diary that we're reading is 1899, so it's like a little bit out of date for like what we're trying to find. A lot of these names have changed by then, and a lot of the families have, like, a lot of them stayed, so it is still worth it to look because, for example, we could figure out about where Myrtie and her dad probably lived because they have so many Wheelers, like the whole family is over here. Yeah, this is the next town over. This is Worcester, which they visit a lot. They go down to East Montpelier, trying to do the pronunciation right, quite a bit. Where's Woodbury? Woodbury's up here. So actually, yeah, let's look for him here. W.H. Towns. Okay, hold on. Try to make our lives easier. If we look back at the 1850 census, Towns. Oh, this is his dad, I think. So maybe we're looking for a town. They're next to Nelson, Pierce, Boudry, Wells. We'll look for any of those. Nelson, Pierce, Boudry, Wells. I usually do it in like a grid. So look through this section. I skimmed it and didn't see it, but I don't know. If anybody sees it, let me know. Nelson. Ooh, it's blurry. Can we load? It's blurry. I'll download it. Oh. Never mind. No, that didn't work. Why is it? I think it was just like it's too much. Load. I'm not patient. Oh, don't rotate. I'm resetting it. Refresh. Still blurry. Is it blurry because it's just blurry? Or is it blurry because it's not loading? There's other places that... No, it's blurry because it's not loading. Alright. We'll just deal with it blurry. What are we looking for? Nelson. I had them repeating and then I got distracted. Wells. Boudry. Pierce. Nelson, Wells, Boudry, Pierce. You guys probably can't read this at all because it's blurry on my big computer. I'm sure it's blurry on your. Control R to refresh the cache. Ah. Still blurry. Well, I can kind of read it. It's just when it gets to be like all these names next to each other, it's hard. Like in here. eyes were already burning. Now it's worse. Oh man, hold on. TikTok is trying to make me verify that I'm real. J. Nelson. Where'd you see it? Where'd you see it? Where'd you see it? I won't move until you tell me to. Oh, here. Nelson. Okay. Now, was this Nelson that we saw a J? No, Nathaniel Nelson. But, it could be a family member, whatever. Pierce Nelson. Oh, we also have Russaw. But I think she's living with this person, so never mind. Boudry, Wells. Let's go after him. This is his dad, so after his dad. Another town. Putnam. Hey, Benjamin Wheeler. Not him, but maybe a family member. Another Wheeler. Another town. Okay, so there's going to be like quite a few towns. That's also good to know. There should be a few of them all clustered together. Let's look over here. Parker. Hill. King. Burnham. No. Saw Wells. Stop. Okay, I'm stopping. Where did you see Wells and Pierce? I'll go back to where I was. It's hard because the comments are like delayed a little from what I'm doing. So whenever we're doing something like this where people are like, oh, it's right there, I'm like already past it. So I'm going to move very slow so you can help me. Where? A couple people saw Wells. A.L. Pierce, right side. Like all the way to the right. Oh, no, that's Hill. How can you guys even read this? Top, slide to the right. Slide to the left. Is it in the bunch, the town here? Is that Wells here? Yeah, okay. Above the circle of water. You can't read that and say that that's N. Nelson, can you? Because that's crazy. Maybe like when it's on a smaller screen. Okay, hold on. We done fell down the rabbit hole. Yes, we did. It happened. N. Nelson up from the first O. Up here? No. Oh yeah, N. Nelson here. Okay. And then we've got an above other O. Okay, that's the thing, is like by the time you say that, I don't know if you're talking about this O or the other O because it's so delayed. Okay, so we have, there's also, okay, so this is one Nelson. And you're saying maybe there's another one down? That was for the N. Nelson. Yeah, I can scoot out a little bit. It's just harder to read it when I do that. Maybe it's easier to read it, actually, because on my screen that's like a preview of what you guys can see, I feel like I can read that better than I can read what's on my monitor, because it's really zoomed in and it's like all pixelated. Okay. Nelson, Pierce, bottom left. Here. Okay. Nelson, Pierce. They're so far away from each other, though. A.L. Pierce, middle bottom, here. Yep. And was that, let's see, was that the guy we were looking for? We can add on Way and Smith. Okay. A. Nelson. Louis Boudry. It would be... Honestly, this is Esther Pierce, who's probably the mother of this guy, Arthur, but it's probably under his name because that's how. N. Nelson, A. Pierce. We saw both of those. N. Nelson. That's so far. But I don't know, like, really what order they did these things in. A. Pierce was somewhere down here. I saw it. I remember. Crap. Not here. Go down. Left a little more. Is it? It's not here, right? It doesn't help that I can't really... Oh, A.L. Pierce here. Maybe. I can't read that anymore. So maybe his name's up here. I don't know. I don't see any towns, though. Like, we should be seeing a bunch... This is 1858, this map, so it's not really new. It's, like, older. But there should be a lot of towns, like the last name town. That's confusing because we're looking at a map of a town, but we should see a group of them, and we don't. There's another Nelson. I don't know, it's starting to hurt my eyes, though. Dog pond. I love that too. Come bring our dogs to the dog pond. Well, we have this, and we'll keep looking, and maybe we'll find more. I don't know. Stop? Okay, well, it's too late. I've moved. I don't know where I was. I hate that I, like, by the time I get your message, I've already moved. Oh, town. Here's one. Here's another one. And we're looking for, I think A, actually, because it's his dad. Asaph, town. Okay. I think we just found him. Thanks for telling me to stop. And it's the last little part that is not blurry. That's crazy. Oh, here. Oh my god, look, it says his actual full name. Asaph Town. That's cool. And here's the other ones. Town, town, town. Yay! I was gonna give up. Where does it say JW? Oh, hey, look! Oh, no, there's... Okay, I thought it was N. Nelson. It is A. Nelson, but could be the Nelson that they were talking about. Tennessee. I don't know if I'd have to, like, look up that separately. I'd have to see if they even have... Yeah, I don't know. That would be cool, though, if we did that as a live stream, like, just for fun one night. There is Wells. Oh, yeah. JW Town is under ASAP. Oh, yeah! Check it out. Okay, now I screenshot this, and we are done with that. Thank God. Okay. And we can keep that. Oh, we were looking for HW Town, but anyways. He was living with his dad, so he's at the Asaph. He's with Asaph. What a name, huh? Keep that there. Okay. Yeah, that would be fun to do, like, I don't know, try to find old town maps of wherever you guys want to look. That would be a cool, like, side live. But we always come on here and we're, like, deep in the diary research, so it's kind of like, I don't know. But, yeah, that was fun. Okay. It's always fun when you actually find something, too. Like, sometimes you go on the wild goose chase and you don't actually find it. And it's like, well, I guess we'll just give up now. So that's cool. I was almost there. That happens a lot too, where I'm like, okay, I think I'm done, and then we find it. January 11th. I taught school. I am sick. That is the painful life of a teacher. Again, I would know. I'm in year 6, and I'm finally, like, not getting sick every single week. of the school year, but I still catch a lot. But my first few years were awful. I caught literally everything, and from December, or maybe even like earlier, until springtime, I would just be constantly sick, and every time I got better, I'd just get sick again. I teach, well, not all grades, but I teach like elementary, K-2 mostly, and art. What if she teaches at the school up there? She teaches at, I actually found the picture of the school she teaches at. She teaches at Schoolhouse, number 7 in Calais, Vermont. Which, when I looked that up, this is the one that was labeled as Schoolhouse number 7. So that's... And it's also the Ira Morse School, which is interesting. Okay, things are connecting. So, you know how we found out that the Town family is from... Oh, thanks, Deb. Sometimes I'm not so sure, but thank you. The Town family is from Woodbury. They're, like, established in here. They have a lot of... Like, they're one of the Town families. Town families. Their last name is Town. You can tell that because, like, sometimes in those old towns... I'm saying town so many times, it's, like, losing its meaning. But you can see, like, a repeated name, which means they're probably pretty well established there. The whole family lives there. So anyways, they are established in Woodbury, the neighboring village, neighboring town. The Morses, who he marries, one of the Morse girls, they are established in Calais. Here, Morse, there was another one, Morse. This school is named the Ira Morse School. So obviously the Morse family is very, like, either owns a lot of land over here or they've been there for a while. Mr. Town married one of the Morses. So he probably moved over here when they were married or later on. And that's why she was visiting the Towns. Maybe it's right near the school. Does that make sense? Does my train of thought make sense? Because that's what I'm thinking. And that would, like... Maybe it was a lot for her to get down all the way to the school every day, so she stayed over there when she was working at the school sometimes, just because it's right there. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that lady does also teach. Ada Morse was her name? There was a list of the teachers. Maybe she's also... Or, well, she's not Ada Morse anymore. She'd be Ada Town. Well, actually, would she be a teacher because she's married? I don't know, actually. Maybe another town. Let me see. I'm curious now. Where did I put... There was a list that said... It was not here. Hold on. There was something that said, like, what district she worked in. It was a newspaper article. Myrtie. Not this one. I gotta go into the Google Doc. Hold on. Google Drive. No, I don't want to lose that. Okay. In here. I was doing, before I came on today, I was doing a little bit of poking around. I found this. This is cool. Some kind of record of her students. Oh my God, look. Things that don't make sense an hour ago now make sense. Bessie Town. Town was one of her students. They definitely lived over there. Okay, cool. That feels good. Okay, so this was the article that said she worked at Schoolhouse number 7. Let's do a little poking around. See if anyone else worked with her. Robinson, Cameron, Osgood, Wheeler, Sanders, Templeton, Ainsworth. I recognize that name from the map. All the Baldwins. Yeah, they have to be siblings. Yeah, isn't that funny? So she taught, like, probably every single grade. They were probably, yeah, that's so true. They're, like, almost all from the same family. Lizzie Baldwin, Pearl Baldwin, Fred Baldwin, Percy Baldwin. I can't even say it anymore. And then you've got the Ellises, Leon and Lilla. That's cute, Lilla. And then you got Lone Wolf. Oh, here's another Baldwin. Henry Martin Hannah Jacobs, Bessie Town. Yeah. Now I wonder if Bessie Town, maybe Bessie Town was Henry Town's daughter. We have him in, this is 1900, so let's see. Yeah, look. Ah! Oh, I love that. I love when you find that, like, just connections, cross-referencing. That never happens. It happens sometimes, but it doesn't happen like this every week, you know? Yeah, when it pieces together, it's like a little click. Feels really good. This is going down a Wikipedia rabbit hole, but family tree edition. Yes, it's so true. Yeah, these are real diaries. Yeah, and then we have adopted. Oh, that one's also adopted, Bessie. Interesting. Because I noticed this one, Iola, interesting name, was also said adopted. I saw that one. I didn't see this one at first. Maybe Ada had a previous marriage or something. Did you see the Facebook post by Charlie Farrell? Yes, that's where I found. I would have never known what you were talking about if I didn't find this, like, right before I came on. I remember the name Charlie Farrell. That's where I found that picture of the school. And that's how I figured out it was called the Ira Morse School. Pronounced Eula. Oh, yeah, because it's E-O-L-A. Oh, Eula. I would have thought that was E-U-L-A. Cool. Yes, I love when I research my family and I get so excited when it clicks like a puzzle. Yes, it's like so satisfying. That's what keeps me going, is the satisfaction of like, it all makes sense. And getting to look at the old maps and, oh, it is Eula? It looked like it now. Getting to look at the old maps and like verifying these people's existence and like why, like, it's just cool that we figured out he was from Woodbury, but this is why he ended up in Calais, because he married that lady and they probably had their family there, and it all makes sense. And this is why she was going to their house, because she worked at the school right next to them. And very cool. Okay, January 12th. I do not feel very well. She's always sick. Taught school. Stayed all night at H.W. Towns. So Twyla, I love that because Twyla reminds me of the show Schitt's Creek. Twyla said, oh, that's cool. I've never seen a live like this before. I get that a lot. This is something that's a little different, but it's fun. And if any of you really like it, join my Patreon, because I've got a group where we do this kind of research together, like on top of what I do on the lives. We collaborate on there, and we have our own like video chats with just us every month. And yeah, she's really filling in the days over here. I taught. Where can I send you a message if I don't have Discord? What is your Patreon? You can send me a message on TikTok, probably. I don't know, because TikTok always changes its like rules, but you should be able to send me one on TikTok or Instagram. Just let me know that you sent one, because I don't check the requests a lot. My email is thingslostandfound1@gmail.com if you want to send me something there. And the Patreon is, I think it's just Things Lost and Found, but you can look on my link tree. So if you go to my bio in TikTok, there's a link and it says link tree, which has like all the things that like all of my social medias, all of like those things. The only thing that doesn't work, annoyingly, on the link tree is the link to join the free Discord. For some reason, TikTok doesn't allow you to do it through there. But this is what the link tree looks like. So if you click on Patreon on there, it says Patreon, become a diary detective. It'll bring you right to Patreon. But if you want to just send me a message, I should put my email in here. But you can message me on like either TikTok or Instagram or Discord if you have a Discord. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of ways. It's just kind of like tricky sometimes. I hate that TikTok doesn't allow you to click the link to join the free Discord. I don't know why it blocks it, but it does. But if you do that through, like, if you go to Instagram and click on it, then it'll let you. It's like very confusing and it's hard to describe. Yes, we found H.W. Town. His Henry William Town. And we figured out that he is from Woodbury, Vermont. And he, like, his family lived, it looks like, I'm just making this up, but this is what we've, like, surmised. His family lived in Woodbury. There's a lot of towns in here. And then he married someone from the Morse family in Calais. And they live around here, which is coincidentally right where her school is that Myrtie teaches in. So we kind of figured out, oh, he married a Morse. He probably has land and his family is here. Myrtie teaches his daughter in school. So we're thinking like maybe she stayed over their house a lot instead of going back and forth all the way up to where she lived, which was here. And maybe she just stayed there multiple times a week. I don't know. We're only in January, so I don't know if this is a pattern yet. You know what, too? It's the winter, and she probably doesn't want to be trekking back and forth just because of, like, the road conditions and the weather. Like, it's probably such a pain in the butt to go back and forth every day that I bet it's a winter thing. That would make sense, right? Yeah, I'm thinking that. What was the date from the student record? Yeah, 1895 to 1896, I think. Where'd it go? Here. No, 1894 to 1895. So that student would have probably moved with them. Oh, when they left. Yeah, that's true. And we have her 1900 diary, so we will probably see that. Was it 1900 that the record was from? Now I'm getting confused. I think so. Yeah, I think so, right? Where was it? I know it said it. Oh, these things are so hard to skim because of all the cursive. Yeah, 1900. Where do I get these diaries? Does it stop working? Can you hear me? Hold on. I'm trying to make sure it's on the right microphone because the other one is really bad. Okay. It keeps like saying it's not available and then it's available again. Whatever. What was I saying? Oh, I get them from eBay sometimes. I got one from eBay that was her diary from 1905. And then when we started to read it and started to look her up, I found someone online who had 2 other diaries of hers, and that person generously donated them to me. So now we have 3 of hers. So 1 was from eBay and 2 were from happenstance. Very cool. All right, let's keep reading. We haven't gotten through a lot of January. We've been doing a lot of research, but fruitful, so that's good. Okay, I taught school. Father came after me. I went home. Sprinkled the clothes and washed the dishes. I wonder what sprinkled the clothes means. Some kind of washing. Father, mother, and I stayed at home all night. January 14th. I keep going to write 1905, 1899. Rain. Okay, she told us the weather. I'm typing out the diary for a couple of reasons. Because it's easier when we look back to like find people that she's mentioned before or places that she's mentioned before. Also, it just creates like a digital copy that I can share with people. But yeah, sprinkle to make them damp before ironing. Yeah. Oh, sprinkle with a spray bottle before you iron them. Okay. AI said to get them damp before ironing. I should use AI more often, but I'm like afraid of it. I made apple pies and ironed and did other housework. Actually, one thing that was cool that I used AI for. I'm an artist, so I tend to be like, oh, I want to use it to like visualize things more than I use it for text and stuff or like searching. I just don't think to use it, and I should use it more. So in the last diary series that we read, we call it the Slippy Diaries because it was a guy named Ralph Slippy. I miss Ralph. And his wife, Georgia. Georgiana, who wrote the diaries, and they got married in the 1903 diary. So I used AI to generate, based on like the text from an article that was written about their marriage. It was in her house. They like said who was there and what she was wearing and her flowers and stuff. So I put that into AI and I said like generate what it would look like. So I got a bunch of images and it was pretty cool. These obviously I filtered out the ones that were like horrifying because you know, with AI hands and AI faces and people without bodies, and like there's some crazy stuff that comes out of it, but I thought these were really cool. And then this was like, it described a bell with mistletoe on it or something, and some of the like table settings and stuff. So isn't that cool? So it can definitely help just visualize things. Is this the start of a new diary? I missed the end of Ralph's diary. Yes, we finished up Ralph. We started a diary by Myrtie Wheeler, who I have a picture of up in the corner, from 1905. And then in the midst of like beginning to research that, I connected with someone online who had 2 other diaries of Myrtie's, and she sent them to me. So we stopped reading the 1905 one. The AI looks so bad, waste of water. Yeah, but there's no photos from that event. So I just thought it was cool that like, it's obviously not like realistic, but I thought it was cool that you could just see kind of what the article was describing. What was I saying? So now we're reading 1899. We went back in time because I think it makes sense to read from like the beginning of what we have, and then we'll continue with the 1905 one later. We only got like a couple months into the 1905 one, so used a soda bottle with a sprinkler top. Oh. She was sprinkling the clothes with starch. Yeah, it could be starch or water, getting ready to take care of them. I wonder if nobody was doing the laundry while she was gone, though, because she started the laundry and maybe now she's ironing it. No one had any clothes. This is neat. What do we know about Myrtie? Was she rich, poor, anything interesting? Her father was a reverend. The mother that she's talking about is actually her stepmother, because her mother died and then her dad remarried, and that is the woman that she's talking about now. They're definitely well off, because once in the 1905 diary, the stepmother has passed away, and they were talking about like inheritance and paying for the monument, which like I don't just have it up. I thought I did, but like in their family plot, they put in a new grave, and they paid crazy amount of money for it, and it was like no big deal, and they were like withdrawing money, and so it seems like they definitely have a lot of money or enough money, but I don't know, or maybe the mother did and he inherited it when she died or something, but they're definitely not like poor. Okay, mother is better. Father went to Eddie Wheeler's to tell him that Eveline Hall is sick. Father, mother, and I stayed at home all night. Now let's see something. Myrtie Wheeler. This is her dad. Is Eddie his brother? Because some of the brothers and sisters have pictures. No. Mason Wheeler, Martin Wheeler. Aaron Wheeler, Russell Wheeler. I'm just trying to see if I can find an Eddie. Oh, Massachusetts. Rehoboth? That's not far from me. That's random. That is so weird. This family came from, like, near me. Okay. Mason Wheeler. He was also born in Massachusetts. Interesting. How did you get into this? I can't imagine it's a very big community. I got into this by finding a 1917 diary at an estate sale. Oh, your maiden name is Wheeler and your dad's family's from Massachusetts. That's cool. What was I gonna say? Oh, I found a 1917 diary at an estate sale, and started researching it. I just thought it was like something cool. I've always liked old things and antiques and trying to figure out like old pictures, trying to find out who was in the old pictures and things like that, but I was never like hardcore into it. I started to read through the 1917 diary, and I had to actually type it out because her handwriting was so difficult to read. And when I started researching her, I found out like crazy stuff about her family, and she was actually from like a really well-to-do family in Brooklyn, and there's a lot of information in newspapers about her. So it was just like the perfect introduction to this hobby because I was able to find so much, and it was like very rewarding. And that's what started it. And then I was like, after I read through that diary and found out a bunch, I started getting other ones, and that's just kind of like how it began. Yes, her dad invented something about, he invented a improved brake system for horse-drawn carriages. And he was a reverend, a preacher. And it did say in his obituary that he never worked for a salary. He never preached for a salary. So they're definitely well off enough that he didn't have to, like, work for money, you know? Okay, so she's staying at the Townses again. Gonna make my next vacation Salt Lake City. Am I missing something? That is cool, but am I missing the connection? I have never been to Salt Lake City. We have a friend that lives in Utah, though. Oh, yeah, okay, for the records. Okay, yep. Do they let anyone look at that? Stayed all night at HW Towns. That makes sense. I knew there was probably some connection. I think Carrie might mean give a ride. Yes, it does, definitely. Okay. January 18th, I taught school. Oh, same thing, actually. Stayed all night at HW Towns. Okay. Okay, I taught school. Stayed all night. Yeah, I never thought of the word carriage like that, Carly, but now I'm thinking about it. Makes sense. Stayed all night at HW Towns's. Father carried mother to her mother, Campbell's. She stayed all night. He stayed alone. Okay, who was sick? Evelyn Hall. Okay. I was thinking maybe it was a Campbell. Okay. So her stepmother is a Campbell. I wonder if there's Campbells in town. They could be in a neighboring town too, but we could, if we looked on Ancestry, we could figure it out, but it's like so much work. Just skimming. Yes, Family Search is the LDS site and it's free. It is. I find it a little bit hard to search, but I'm just used to Ancestry, I think. Well, I'll put it on the list. Mother-in-law. I said stayed all night twice. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I did. Okay, I taught school. Okay. The map is, this is a map of Calais, Vermont, where Myrtie lives, and then the neighboring towns. It's the county, Washington County, Vermont, in 1858. And, oh, would you look at that? We've got some little, like, mini ones here. The map itself is on Library of Congress, if that's what you mean. Okay, this is good to know. This is also, of course, it's like not loading, but give it some time. Those are the little side, I actually screenshotted these from something else before. There should be one here, yeah. This is like a little zoomed in area of her town. And that one's blurry, but... Is Mother sick? Mother was sick, but now she's better. So, I don't know. Maybe she's not better, actually, because I just saw to see how Mother is, but... Let's see. I taught school. Father went to Mrs. Campbell's... That's her mother. That's, sorry, her stepmother's mother. To see how Mother is, and then came after me. I went home. He and I stayed at home all night. Within the next couple of years, her stepmother, that's who she's calling Mother, does get very sick with cancer and then dies. So I don't know if like what's going on is the beginning of that, or if she's just sick because it's winter and everybody was sick. Oh. She took a picture. That'd be so cool if we had that picture. We did some trading. He came home. Stayed at home all night. She sat for her picture. There is a receipt or something. There are some things that are in the back of this diary. So let me pull them out and look because I actually haven't looked at them. I just started taking pictures of the pages. So this is in the 1899 diary. The person who sent them to me mentioned that there was some receipts. So I'm wondering if it's like... Okay, this is from 1896. It's a receipt for a cow. Let's see. What's this one? Oh, okay. This is something about school. It says 1. Something. See, think, express. Type forms. Sphere. Cube, cylinder. Corners, edges. Something. Oral, thought. Fractions, common. And then something else, I don't know. It's just like a list of probably things that she needed to teach at school or did teach. Percentages, taxes, stocks, interest, proper. Weights and measurements, common system, metric system. Something. Multiplication, measuration, something like that. S.S. Nehemiah. Okay. There's more. There's a couple more. This is Popular Educator Monthly, $1 a year. Okay, it's a subscription to Popular Educator from 1897 to 1898 in her name. Someone's address. And lastly, I don't know, Christmas cards, something, telephone numbers. You probably can't really see it because of the brightness, but it's on the back of an ad or something. Cool. So no receipt for whatever we were looking for, or the picture, getting her picture taken, but wanted to check. I have to go soon because we gotta go get food, me and Ian. Maybe I'll read this page and then I'll log off, and next week we'll continue. Okay. Father and I at home. We stayed at home all night. Mother is... Wow, 22,000 likes. Thanks, guys. I don't look up there often, but wow. Mother is at her mother Campbell's. January 23rd. Father carried me to my school. Welcome to the club, Jen. She said, I'm hooked. Father carried me to my school. I stayed all night at H.W. Towns's. Father is at home alone. Mother is at her mother Campbell's. So I do go on every Thursday, usually. Last week I didn't because something was just came up. So usually I am on Thursdays at 6 p.m. I wonder what Dad takes her to school and can't she drive the horse and buggy? Or why he takes her to school. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they only have one for the family. I taught school, stayed all night at H.W. Towns. Father is at home alone. Mother is at her mother Campbell's. All right, so something that I do every week is I make a live event that you can sign up for if you want to get notifications when I go live. You can also go to my TikTok page and hit the little bell thing. That will hopefully tell you when I actually go live. Sometimes it's tricky and it doesn't actually tell you. I don't have control over who gets notifications from TikTok, but I do have control over who gets notifications on Discord. So if you do have a Discord, join my free Discord page where I just send announcements, and that will definitely let you know when I'm live. And like if I have something that I can't make it one week, I always send a notification there. The confusion with the Discord is that there's a free one. That's where I send announcements, but then I also have a paid one, a Patreon one, and that's the one where you like really we talk together, we figure out questions about different diary projects. We have our own separate diary projects that we're working on, things like that. We have video meetings. That's the paid one. So sometimes it's confusing when I'm talking about Patreon, but there is a free Patreon that you can join that's just like for updates and stuff. But I'm making a thing for next week now, so just hold on. That would be the 14th at 6 p.m. Okay. And I gotta change 1905 to 1899. So that will be up within the next couple of minutes. And if you go to my TikTok page, it's like right below my bio, I think. Yeah, it's there for me now. I don't know if it's there for everybody, but right below my bio, it says live August 14th. If you click on that, you can sign up and it will hopefully send you a notification. But the only way to like really be sure is to join the Discord. But anyways, I'll see you guys next week, next Thursday. I'm glad that there's so many new people who are excited about it too. It's always fun, like when people just pop in and join and aren't expecting to be like thrown into this world and then join us forever. You can feel free to research her more on my website. I'll do it right now. I'll add So when you go to thingslostandfound.com, if you click on Myrtie Wheeler, right now there's only one box, but I'll add right now my new diary, like, scrapbook for this one, and I'll add in the people and places. Yeah, feel free. You can dig into, like, her neighbors even if you want, or more about H.W. Towns. Like, just send me whatever you find. But very exciting. And if you like it, if you want to, join the Patreon group. It's a fun group. All right, guys. I'll add that now before I go, and we're going to go get some food. So, everybody, thank you for joining, and I'll see you next week. Oh, yes. Okay. Yep. I can. You know what, Deb? Before I log off, thank you. I'll do it now. I'll look. Hold on. This is embarrassing. I like stink it. Okay, here. Requests. Yeah, thank you for letting me know that you sent something, because I get so many, like, spam messages in there, so I hardly ever check. But okay. Oh. Okay, thanks. I thought you had sent me something to, like, show, but I'm gonna read this and respond to you. Okay? All right. Are these files on Patreon? Yes, I don't have them, like, editable right now. They will be on my public website, but, yeah, the Patreon group has access to most of the Google Drive. But, I'm gonna put these on my website right now, and I'm gonna make a note to do it, so I don't forget, because I'm notorious for that. Logging off and then going, whoop. Okay. All right, bye, everybody. I'll see you next week. Thanks for making it fun. Good night.